fault, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitted for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right. Ay, please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat a submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk, I just show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right.
Salute, ATP, what's really good? What's good? Salute, good morning. Clap it up one more time. You know what we about to do with it. Don't give me the ball. You know what I'm going to do with it. You know what I'm going to do with it. Salute to everybody who is in the building. Boxing Talk live early in the morning. We are running a little bit late. Past couple of days, I've been chasing myself, I swear. Got up a little bit late this morning. You know, I had to make it into the gym, put that pain in, and just ended up having to run around, had to stop somewhere, run a quick little errand, and before you know it, it's like damn near 11 o'clock. So salute to everybody who tapped in at 11. I forgot to change it on the thumbnail to let you guys know it was going to be at 11:30, but, you know, yeah, better late than never, right? Thanks for being patient with us. A lot to talk about today, man. Salute to Anton Ziegler. Walaikum salam, King. What's good, family? Good to see you in the building. Good to see you, and assuming you are in good health and good spirits. That's always a great thing. Let's see here. Raphael 32 says Fondura and Thurman fight not on Prime TV or streaming contract on PBC paper. I don't know what's going on with that. I got to look into that. Raphael, that's some interesting information. I don't know, right? I guess we'll look into that a little bit together, and find out what that's all about. But we definitely going to be talking about the fight, right? So yesterday's press conference rolls out. Sebastian Fondura versus Keith Thurman. Let me tell you something, man. On paper is one thing to see a fight, and you look at it on paper and you speak to it, and you go, okay, all right, yeah, Keith Thurman. You look at his resume, you look at Sebastian Fondura's resume, right? And you start to, you start to compare, do a little triangle theory. He fought this guy, more skill, more experience. You know what I mean? This resume is way more decorated. This guy was a unified champion at one time, the top welterweight in the world. You know what I mean? Just one belt shy of being undisputed at one time in Keith Thurman, right? And then you look at Sebastian Fondura and you say, yeah, I mean, this guy's had some decent fights recently. Biggest fights he's had probably against Tim Tszyu, right? And he's had, he's been stopped by Brian Mendoza. He's been sat on his pockets by Erickson Lubin. And you start to kind of see, this fight's going to be competitive. And look, it may very well still be competitive, but let me tell you guys something, man. Nothing like a face-off to put some perspective as to what you're looking at. And we're going to talk about that, right? Big face-off yesterday between Sebastian Fondura and Keith Thurman. Interesting, man. what else can you say except for that? Sebastian Fondura is an interesting specimen of a fighter to be fighting at 154, standing at 6'6". I keep on saying that every time I see this guy show up and do a face off with a fighter, I always say, man, he's got to be the most awkward fighter to fight against. And Keith Thurman has his work cut out for him. But listen, man, he has an IQ. We'll talk about that. Both these guys got an opportunity to speak their piece. Keith Thurman communicated to the space that he's not to be taken a joke. Look, at the end of the day, the man has lost one fight, and that's against a Hall of Famer in Manny Pacquiao. So a lot of times, are we selling Keith Thurman short, man? No pun intended, right? But we'll talk about that as well. I think a fight that's probably potentially going to steal the show on that night. It's probably going to be the old Shacky Foster Stephen Fulton fight, right? Ladies and gentlemen, stylistically, styles make fights. If that word was ever true, then this one right here should deliver. Old Shacky Foster have shown different wrinkles to his game in his recent title defense and getting his title back with his loss against Conceição. We saw him fight when he needed to fight, when he was down on the cards. We've seen him losing some boxing matches and come back towards the end. We've seen him box Conceição for 12 consistent rounds. The judges didn't give it to him. A lot of people would say that was one of the biggest robberies of that year, but he showed what he can do, that he can move, that he can stay on his jab, that he has the IQ, that he can see the punches coming. But then rematch and got his title back from Conceição and mixed it up very well. We watched Stephen Fulton make his return to the space after a loss from Monster Inoue. He took a hiatus. He came back. We've seen him get sat on his pockets by Carlos Castro, but still was able to get that victory. A lot of people thought he may have lost that fight, but looked a little bit better, maybe even a lot better against Brandon Figueroa to get that interim title, or as Ray Vargas, a champion in recess. Stephen Fulton was able to grab that title at 126, but amazingly enough, always talking about going to 130. He's getting ready to debut at 130 as we watch Stephen Fulton leverage that WBC title he holds at 126 to get an opportunity to become a 130-pound champion and go there against Shacky Foster. As of late, we watch Stephen Fulton, I'm going to say evolve, right? A little bit, his style a little bit as he's jumped on with Bozy Ennis, and we're seeing a lot of those fighters, the Stephen Fultons, the Andy Cruzes, and of course, Jaron Ennis, bringing in that Bozy Ennis program and how it's manifesting into victories in the ring. Will that work against Shacky Foster? Will he be a little bit more reserved? Will he still sit there with that close range, mid-range game, that catch and shoot strategy that he now approaches the game with? Is that what we're going to look forward to seeing from in that fight, right? And then we have news circulating in the space, of course. We got news circulating in the heavyweight division, obviously. Looks like Moses Utama will be fighting again in December. Rumor has it, right? Who's he going to be fighting again? We'll talk about that. Who knows? I think they're circulating between 2 or 3 fighters. One of them standing out for me. We'll talk about that. Joseph Parker also in negotiations, and from what I'm understanding, getting very close to a resolution between him and Fabio Wardley. Gets an opportunity at a WBO title here that he may be getting elevated to, depending on what Usyk's able to work out with that WBO sanctioning body. We'll talk about that as well. And whatever else comes to mind, right? We're going to talk about boxing at the end of the day. So salute to everybody who showed up in the building. I always thank you guys in advance, because why? You could be anywhere else in the world. There's a lot of boxing going on in the YouTube space right now as far as content creation is concerned. If you're here with me, I respect it and I appreciate it more than you know. We'll do a quick little roll call and we'll jump into this boxing talk a little bit deeper, right? We'll dive a little deeper into this boxing talk as well. SOB TV in the building, 52 says, salute, Clay. Blessings, my brother. Salute to you. SOB got here at 11:13, got here earlier than we got on, but later than we were supposed to come on, right? But he stopped by and he showed some love. Salute to SOB TV. Coach Eddie, ATL, my guy, man, scholar among scholars, man, a real boxing pundit in the space, a real boxing mind, owns a gym out there in Atlanta, man. Love to have him in the room. A legitimate validation of what this channel really brings to the space as far as information is concerned, as far as good, objective, unbiased boxing talk is concerned. To see Coach Eddie in the building, just validates, a badge of honor, right? Certifies me in the space. Salute Coach Eddie. Ray Davis should be here soon. He sent me a text message, said he'll be up here soon, but he did stop by into the chat and said give a big salute to Coach Eddie. We'll see him soon. Shout out to PHX Patriot in the building, says good morning and salute Clay panel and chat. Salute to you, man. There's 215 representing that Philadelphia Eagles fan in the building. There's 215 popping in for that boxing talk. Raphael 32, we already saw what he said. We're going to look a little deeper into that, too, because I'm not too sure, Raphael. Is that certified information or is that a rumor circulating in the space? We'll talk about it, right? We'll figure it out together. It says Fondura versus Thurman not on Prime, number TV or no TV or streaming contract on PPC pay-per-view. That's interesting. We're going to have to dive deeper into that if that truly is the case. We got to dive deeper into that, right? Anton Ziegler giving us the salams this morning, and walaikum salam back at Anton Ziegler, man. Good to see you in the building, man. Shout out to Shelton Moore, 7993 in the building. Become a regular here, man. Part of this grassroots foundation of this channel, man. Just once again, just a little bit more experience, a little bit more perspective. Seen boxing for a long time, watching the evolution. It's always great to have Shelton pop up on these panels and share his perspective on what we're looking at, man. Good to see you in the building, Shelton. Hope you are in great spirits and even better health, man. For sure, man. Salute to AK Crowder, my brother, 7483 with the blessings, like a super chat. I swear it is, man. Shout out to AK Crowder with the blessings, man. Always receiving those blessings, man. Let's see here. What Raphael says, Fulton looking about the same size. Yeah, for sure, man. Prime pay-per-view October 25th. That's what it say on the PBC website. That's why I figured, okay. I don't know what Raphael was talking about, man. That's crazy, man. Bradley 6836 in the building says Thurman beats the 6'6" young bull. We'll talk about it today, Bradley. You know, we got to ask ourselves what we're referencing when we consider the potential results of that fight. When we're thinking about Keith Thurman, we got to be specific. Does the Keith Thurman who beat Brock Jarvis, does he beat Sebastian Fondura? Does the Keith Thurman who lost against Manny Pacquiao beat Sebastian Fondura? Does the Keith Thurman who beat Mario Barrios in a close scored fight beat Sebastian Fondura? Which Keith Thurman are we looking at to beat Sebastian Fondura, right? And is Keith Thurman any one of those guys right now? I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. We're going to talk about it. Shout out to Benny Bronca in the building. Salute, chat. Salute to the Cardenas. Benny Bronca in the building, man. Says, cool boy and old Shaq, tough and good fight. 100%, Benny. 100%, Benny. Stylistically, this fight, no matter what happens, as a fan of boxing, you will win when you watch that fight. That fight, 90+% guaranteed, should deliver on the night, right? Just stylistically speaking, both these guys, I expect them both to leave it in the ring. One guy trying to come for the gold on another guy's waist and another guy defending his belt. And on the back end of that has rumored to wanting to leverage that belt at 135 and get involved in that conversation. So there's a lot pending on the back end of this fight for both of these fighters as far as what their future is going to be. I expect those guys to deliver in that fight. Salute to Delane Fam Sports in the building. Salute, Delane. Good to see you in the building, man. Hope you are in great spirits and even better health, man. Want to see you guys live forever. You know what I mean? Salute to all you guys, man. Hold on. PHX Patriot says, just a heads up, Clay. It's Chris Legg from Blue Blood channel. My name shows different in chat. Oh, okay, Chris. Man, salute, family. Yeah, definitely, man. Didn't know, man. Let me hook you up right up, man. Oh, yeah, definitely, Chris. I don't know why you show up this way on here, but thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know, family. You know what I mean? Good to see you in the building, man. Good to see you in the building. Yeah. Why you got to do this, man? Why you got to do this, man? I'm not saying your name, man, but he says it's going to be an interesting fight. I ain't saying that name. I'm a grown-ass man, dog. Shout out to Cedric Entertainer and my Cedric Entertainer. I'm a grown-ass man, bro. I ain't calling you delicious, and I ain't calling you drink his kids, bro. We ain't doing it, bro. We ain't doing it, bro. We're going to leave you right there, but I appreciate you. We're going to keep an eye on you because we don't know what's on your mind. If you're going to put a name like that together, anything can happen in this show today. We're going to watch you close, man. Don't get sniped. Don't get sniped. Oh, man. Ate his grocery. I'm sorry, bro. Oh my God, you killing me. You killing me, man. I appreciate you being here in the building, man. I just can't say these names out loud, man. I can't do it. I won't do it, man. Anton Zegler says Nunes is that guy, 100%, man. Eduardo Nunes is that IBF champion, and you know they don't talk about him a lot, man. But he's one of those fighters that make it happen, man. That make it happen, man. Salute, 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 salute. Anton Ziegler, and yeah, man, I'm not saying these names, man. I ain't doing this with you, bro. Shout out to TV. JTACB says, good brother Clay. Salute to you, family. Good to see you in the building, man. Shout out to my young bull, G tatted up. 215 says, Claymore Rain. Salute to my OG. You can't stop the rain. It's no wonder y'all can't stop the rain when it starts to pour. Exactly, man. Salute to G tatted in the building, man. No doubt, man. Let me see. I think we're good to go, man. Let me see, man. I think we are good to go, man. I think we've saluted to everybody in the building. Got about 24 people in the building. I know we're creeping in the building slowly but for surely. As you step into the door, please take a moment. Hit that like button. Real important. Puts the channel in the right space in front of the right eyes. And, of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't waste another minute before you do anything else except maybe take your next breath. Hit that subscribe button. Hit your bell icons as well so you are getting notifications when we're doing the thing. Salute to our co-host, Ray M. Effin Davis, Sugar Ray, what they call him. Salute, 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 salute.
What up?
Salute,
what up? Dark is light, man.
What's good, Ray? What's good, Ray?
Chilling, man. Chilling. I see everybody in the chat. I mean, walaikum assalam to all my brothers out there. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody else, you know what I mean, that didn't give me that greeting or didn't give us that greeting. Let me be respectful. You know what I mean? But listen, man. Interesting as it may be, the PBC got a pay-per-view card, which I don't want to see on pay-per-view, but a good enough card where I want to watch the fights.
No doubt.
Just can't imagine, man. But my thing is, it's the same thing we always say, Clay, and I hate beating a dead horse and talking bad, but they recycle the same fighters on these cards. They're not reaching to the other fighters that they have in their stable, and it's just recycle the same fighters. To me, it just becomes and this is not hate. This is really not hate. This is just me wanting to see great fights and wanting to see all these guys fight. And you know, it's kind of like redundant to a degree when you start seeing the same thing back and forth. But shout out to the PBC, man, because this is a really good card, and you know what I mean. I want to see it.
I'll be honest. I haven't really gone in depth into looking at the whole card. I just really look at the main event and the co-main event. I haven't had the time I normally like to do to sit down and go into this. But you know, we'll do a lot of this on the channel as we're speaking. We'll be discovering things. But overall, the pay-per-view model is pretty much dead, right? I mean, at this point, the PBC is holding up the pay-per-view model, and they're trying to keep it strong. They haven't touched the price. They still keeping it pretty high, and you know, it is what it is, right? Great fights, like you said, but you know, once again, fans of the sport are either going to try to steal the fight or they're not going to watch the fight, right? I heard that Stream East actually got pulled down the other day. That's what I'm hearing.
Damn,
they got pulled down. People are going to have to find other websites to stream on, but the pay-per-view model is a dying model. And especially when you put these kind of fights to headline it, I think this fight has the potential to be a great fight. I want to talk more about the fight than the actual business of the PBC because, I mean, listen, man, that the press conference was lackluster. Looks like it was extra intimate. Not a lot of people there. Keith Thurman, you know, doing what he can to promote this fight and make this fight a must-see situation. And to a large degree, if you love boxing, this is must-see boxing, right? Like to see how Thurman is going to make these adjustments and let's see how he handles this, right? Because we're looking at a Sebastian Fondura who's all of a sudden gotten a little bit of an affinity for his physical, the physical traits that he has, right? That his father and his mother blessed him with. And it seems as of late he's been looking in the mirror like, holy shit, I got long arms and long legs, right? Like all of a sudden he's getting a reality check. Like you've been had long legs and long arms, Sebastian. You've been had long legs and long arms, but it's like all of a sudden he's noticing it. I actually saw him do a little bit of an interview where he kind of spoke to that and said, yeah, man, these are physical. He said, yeah, man, these are physical advantages, and it's about time I start using them. And I was like, oh wow, okay, look, man, he kind of like let the reporter know, like, you know, because the reporter was basically asking him what does he think about people saying he has all these advantages, and, you know, maybe even in a tone kind of saying like it's unfair, like you're in a division, you're kind of like bullying everybody, and he kind of responded with that, you know what, it is unfair, and it is an advantage, and he said it's about time I start using it. I was like, oh well,
Crazy word.
Okay, I mean, listen, man,
I mean,
that's refreshing, right? What do you think about a statement like that from somebody like Sebastian Fondura, to hear him say something like that?
I mean, it's brilliant, right? And that's not the only thing he's using. He's actually been in Al Heyman's closet from the 70s too. So he's using some of his gear, by the way.
Them suits is diabolical. My man need to.
Really, Clay, what'd you say? They said they were the budget.
What? Yo, that suit was looking crazy. He looked like he came out of a Scarface movie, bro. Came out the VIP section of Tony Montana, bro.
In all seriousness, man, I think it's great to acknowledge what your skill sets are, because a lot of people go away from that. They try to be something they're not. If you're fast, be fast. If you're aggressive, be aggressive. Like, that's what you are. That's what makes you. When you start doing things that that help you survive, and you punishing yourself by trying to be something you're not, you tend to wake up at one point or another, right? So I think he just really woke up and was like, look, man, I'm tired of my nose getting broke. I'm tired of these little dudes punching me in the face, and they ain't nothing but up, you know what I mean? Like right here, and they hit me with overhand rights, which I'm the taller guy, so how is that even possible?
Right.
I slept with overhand right. And for what? You know what I mean? I got a freaking 86-inch reach, bro. I'm like Michael Jordan in this mode. And
I'm like Manute Bol in this.
Right. And I'm in here getting jabbed in the face by Muggsy Bogues. Like, yeah, come on now.
You ain't lying. And look, you're getting to it's getting to the point for him where the show is becoming big. First of all, he's headlining a pay-per-view. I think this is his first pay-per-view he's headlining, outside of the one he shared with Tim Zhu, but that was really a Tim Zhu show, right? And these victories are more important to have more than how you win them, right? Like a fight with Keith Thurman is more important to get that on the resume than to make it a slugfest or play that game. This is one of those fights where you dial in, you use your strengths, you lock in the victory, and you move on to bigger and better things, and you upgrade your price goes up, your brand gets a box checked under it, and you move forward, right? Yeah or nay?
Yeah, man. And guess what is? This man pulled out a chair, bro. And I don't know what kind of energy that was. I don't know if that was him being a clown, that was him being funny, that's him just, you know what I mean, being nervous.
The elephant. He's speaking to the elephant in the room. I know what you guys are looking at. I know what you guys are seeing, and I'm seeing it too.
Hold on, he don't say seeing. He got to have this, so you got to say seeing. You know.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You got to make sure you say it right, because Keith Thurman, the one time, you don't know how one time is. We bring it back, y'all. We bring it back. So you know how he doing. I mean, that's what's up. So yeah, no, man. In all due respect, it should be a decent fight. I'm expecting the pummel to happen, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think.
Yeah, I think that fight is a fight like I said earlier. I don't know if you heard me. I said it's one thing on paper to look at a fight and kind of like assess it, but ain't nothing like that legit ass face off to put some perspective on the conversation. When you look at the face off and you go,
pummel. Yo, he better spike his drink, bro. I don't know what. He better do something, because one time I'm about to see something I don't think he ever saw before.
Yeah, but listen, man, this fight right here, Ray, I'm gonna be honest with you, is one of those fights where Sebastian Fondura can look like he's stuck or he can look like he's evolved, right? And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if he makes this fight dirty and on the inside and gives Keith Thurman moments in this fight to where Keith Thurman can let go of shots, catch him with overhand rights, hurt him even, make the fight competitive in a way to where Sebastian Fondura could have made it easier, he's going to look like he's stuck in the mud, like he can't evolve, like he can't take advantage. This is a fight for him to showcase evolution. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like Sebastian Fondura can take this moment in this fight and he can showcase evolution. He can show I'm growing, I'm maturing, I'm embracing who I am as a fighter, and these other fighters, I can put the rest of this division on notice about what they got to deal with when they get in the ring with me. And he doesn't have to savagely knock out Keith Thurman and do that. All those things are great to see, but if people can see him commit, and the next fighter who gets in the ring with him could say, damn it, I'm going to have to figure out how to get past these physical attributes. This man is using this ish. I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm going to have to put this in my camp, and it's just going to give these fighters a layer of ish to deal with during preparing the fight against Sebastian Fondura. What do you think?
I think that a lot of these people have to start bringing in Steven Jackson to spar with, but, that's another time for another day. But, yeah, you're 100% right, Clay. Like, damn, for real? That's how we doing it? No problem.
Somebody
I'll take it. You know what? Big salutes to you too, my guy. But yeah. So anyway, Clay, this guy's Fondura brings a lot to the table. I mean, if he starts using his height, his length for advantages and things of that nature, it might be time for him to dominate the division and move on up. Because I think he needs to be literally. I still think he's a 175 pounder. I think he should be at 175. Him being at 160, 165, 68, that works too. He can fight there. But dominating 154 and he can make the weight, why not? It's going to take a special guy to figure this guy out, man. It really is.
It could be. It's going to take a special guy to figure him out, but it's interesting, and it's an experience to watch him figure himself out. Because he's been fighting a certain way for such a long time that a lot of boxing pundits in the space have looked and asked themselves that question, like, why is this man choosing to fight like this, right? And we've seen Gabrielle Fondura, his sister, kind of evolve as well as a fighter. She's starting to use that distance. And being that they train together, whenever I watch Gabrielle, it's like vice versa. I kind of see Sebastian a little bit. And he even said that in the interview. He said, listen, man, we're getting experience in multiple ways. He's like, obviously staying active is one way for me to evolve in the sport. But he said also my sister is an undisputed champion, and I'm helping her with her camps. So he says with her fights, it's like he's evolving as well through helping her get ready to defend her titles. So we got to remember, as big as he is, as tall as he is, he's still a super young fighter, right? Like, how old is Sebastian Fondura?
27.
27?
Something like that. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, pull it up right quick. Tell me what you see.
20. Oh, yeah.
I thought he was
27.
younger.
Damn, nailed it.
27?
27.
Just getting accepted to Harvard. All right. Well, listen, man.
Well, he went to school already. I think this is like some type of doctorate or master's or something he's going for.
Okay.
You said it like he was Happy Gilmore.
No, I just thought, being that he just got accepted to Harvard, I thought he was like 23, you know what I mean? 24, 23. That's what I thought he might be. But he's still a young guy, still under 30 years old. And you mentioned that these fighters, are going to it's going to be their job cut out for them to figure out Sebastian Fondura. But it's also been interesting to watch the journey of Sebastian Fondura figuring himself out, right? And getting himself together where he needs to be. But listen, man, he speaks to the evolution. He speaks to the improvements. He speaks to the changes that he's done, that his father's implemented certain things in the camp, and that we should anticipate seeing a different Fondura. And he, with a lot of passion in his voice, said, yeah, man, it's about time I take advantage of some of these physical attributes. So I'm looking forward to hopefully see Sebastian Fondura showcase that. And not on the Keith Thurman side of the game. Keith is like, what, 34, 36? What is he, 30?
37, 36. He right 36. He there with Bud.
Okay, so at 36 years old, we've seen him. At one point, Keith Thurman was the guy at welterweight division, right? He was like the unified champion. Was he like a belt shy of being undisputed at one point?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
And he's had some unfortunate bad luck, you can say, right? Bad elbow, had to have a surgery here, dealt with whatever issues, had to have his belts stripped for him. Some of them he vacated, and then took a bad loss when he tried to make his return against Manny Pacquiao. didn't take a bad loss as far as like got his ass whooped. Actually, in my opinion, if he didn't get knocked down, that fight could have been a draw or he could have won that fight. I thought that fight was
brother in the chat. I ain't seen him in a minute. What's up, Low Nose? Salute, my brother.
Where do you see Low at?
He right there.
Oh man, no doubt, man. Oh, Low's in. Okay, yeah. Low, yeah, I'll put it out there for you, but nobody else hit it. I mean, if you guys hit it, you can hit it. I'm not gonna let you up. So just letting you know, keeping it 100 with you. So don't be upset if you don't get let up. I'm always gonna let my boy Low up on the panel whenever he feel like jumping on the panel. He's an underrated platform of
HLD crazy, bro. If you even listen to HLD is diabolical.
You even salute or listen in the chat before requested a link.
He is
Low, my guy, man. Low,
y'all go back, man. I mean, I remember.
Yeah, man. Low's platform.
He's still. I'm gonna put a city out there, but he's still around me, right? Or is he back in PA?
He a New Yorker to the death of him.
Oh yeah. What up, Low? Low, you down here in Jersey, bro? Or you back in New York?
I don't live in Jersey. I used to live in Jersey. I lived in Jersey. I lived in Philly. I live in New York right now.
Yeah.
I'm a tri-state guy, man. And HLD, I've been listening, bro. Stop hating, man. I just, you know what I mean? That's my guy, HLD. But yeah, man, that Keith Thurman Fondura, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Keith Thurman pulls it off, this will be his Roberto Duran moment when Roberto Duran defeated Davey Moore. Because right now, Keith Thurman, in my opinion, is gonna be a Hall of Famer. But if he beats Fondura, that's the next level. That's the next tier where we can say he's a great fighter.
100%. I agree with you 100%, Low. This is a big feat for him to accomplish. How'd you feel about the press yesterday watching that face off? How'd you feel about it when you saw it? Did it change anything, or were you just kind of expecting that, or did you? For me, when I saw it, it was a reality check. As much as I knew already how much taller Sebastian was, it's different watching them stand in front of each other. It's just like, damn.
Oh, you put a chair and it was almost eye to eye, bro.
First of all, I thought Keith Thurman did what Keith Thurman does. He's great at selling the fight. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm rooting for Keith Thurman. I really want him to pull it off. But Keith Thurman is not an inside range fighter. He fights in the outside or mid range. He moves around jabs. He don't fight on the inside. And I don't see anything he can do with Fondura unless Fondura gives his height away and gets caught with a big shot. But I really think that this is going to be Keith Thurman's retirement loss. But I'm rooting for him to prove me otherwise. I really want to see Keith Thurman win, man. So I want to see his career move forward. There's more boxing left in him. Even though he's been on the sideline, he hasn't been taking punishment like that. Even though he's injury prone, maybe if Bud Crawford loses to Canelo, he can go back down to 154. Him and Thurman can get a fight, Yeah.
I mean, look, Keith Thurman was going to hook somebody up with a fight. There was rumored at one point that it might have been Xander who got the fight, that it might have been Boots, it might have been Virgil, right? Obviously, Tim Tszyu was in the conversation for a hot little second, but it looks like Sebastian gets the opportunity to get the future Hall of Famer, potential Hall of Famer on his resume. Did you see Sebastian Fondura speaking at all? And did you as far as his physical attributes and how he plans on showcasing that? How do you feel about the evolution of Sebastian Fondura? You know what I mean? Like, we've seen him give up so much of his range and the physical capabilities that he's had over the past couple of fights. He seems like he's growing out of that a little bit. What do you think about that?
I mean, he's maturing as a fighter. I mean, I give it to him. He bounced back from a devastating knockout, and that takes a lot because a lot of fighters don't really bounce back from those type of losses. So he bounced back to actually become the top dog in the division. So you got to give him credit for that. And Keith Thurman, once again, he chose the hardest guy out of all of them, with the exception of Bachram. I think Keith versus Boots will be a more competitive fight. Keith versus Xander Zayas, I probably will have to favor Keith in that fight, but he chose Fondura. I got to see how he's going to pull it off.
Yeah, it makes me question if he chose him too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I think Keith. Listen, man. To me, Keith has been between a rock and a hard place for a little bit right now. You know what I mean? Trying to find that right fight to get that payday, trying to manage the risk, trying to approach and enter the division the right way. 154 is a hornet's nest. Not too many easy, if you want to quote unquote find an easy option. Seems like all the fights here could give him issues one way or the other. This looked like more of a PBC coordinated this, and it looks like they're trying to help Sebastian, be a draw, right?
Yeah, pass the torch.
Yeah. Try to give Sebastian away. So that being said, on a co-main event, we got O'Shaquie Foster and Stephen Fulton on this one. In my opinion, stylistically, this checks the boxes to be a great fight. Probably the fight of the night. Mess around with these two guys in the ring. Any thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little biased on that. I think I'm gonna go with Stephen Fulton on that one.
No doubt, man. Listen, man, he's going up to 130. He stopped by 126 real quick, right? Picked himself up a WBC title, and he wasted no time leveraging that title up at 130 now to get into this fight with O'Shaquie Foster. O'Shaquie Foster also has plans. He talks about future plans after this fight. He's rumored that he wants to leverage that WBC title. Ray been calling this for a minute now, at least for the last two fights with O'Shaquie, saying that he could see him going up to 135 and challenging a Tank at the time. But of course, Shakur Stevenson being the WBC champion up there. This fight right here has a lot running on it for both of these guys, because on the back end of a loss for Stephen Fulton, what is he going to do? Does he go back to 126 and defend his WBC title down there, or does he operate as a contender at 130? And of course, O'Shaquie Foster already being kind of a victim of some bad judging against Conceição, finally able to collect that title. Where does he go next after this if he loses, right? So this is a big fight for him. And if I'm correct, I don't know, Ray, if you could let me know, or maybe Lowe might let me know, but isn't this the last fight on his Top Rank deal? Or
yeah.
So this fight right here, man, this guy messes around and loses this fight. I mean, he doesn't have too much leverage going into his next deal, whatever it might be, whether it's renewing with Top Rank or moving on to greener pastures. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Lo.
Well, first off, the fact that this guy came back from a devastating loss, he was knocked out. He was knocked out by Nui. People didn't think he would bounce back, and he did. I don't really know too much about his contract. I don't know what's going on with Top Rank. I don't know if they don't got a home. I don't know what's going on with them.
But I mean, this fight is an important fight, is what I'm saying, right?
It's sort of a crossroads fight.
Yeah, right. This is an opportunity for O'Shaquie Foster to jump into. I'm a star. I'm a great dancing partner. Let's get it, Shakur. Let's get it, Tank. Let's get it, you know what I'm saying, at 135. Let's get it, Abdullah Mason. Let's get it, Lamont Roach. Let's get it, whoever the big dogs is at 135. And but on the back end of a loss could really be a real setback for somebody like O'Shaquie Foster. And Stephen Fulton, in my opinion, seems to be throwing the dice. Not to say throwing the dice, but he seems to be going for it, right? He's moving in a certain trajectory. You can see it. He went for Carlos Castro. He got sat in his pockets, but he got that victory. Then he went and moved forward and fought against Brandon Figueroa, got that victory. He was already talking about going to 130 after the Castro fight. He said the Carlos Castro fight was just going to be a stepping stone fight, but he got the opportunity to fight Brandon Figueroa for a WBC interim title, I guess, or a title while Ray Vargas was in recess. And he immediately took that title, and now he's running with it to 130 to go leverage it. He's not going to give Shushu an opportunity. He's not going to give none of those guys an opportunity to take it. He's moving on to his biggest opportunity. If he loses on this journey, it's a big setback for him. So I think these guys are going to fight their hearts out.
Yeah, everything's on the line. You get the fights like this every now and then where you got two guys that are champions or former champions, and they had pretty good careers, and everything's on the line. And whenever everything is on the line, these guys perform like the best of their ability. Well, me personally, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to see O'Shaquie Foster fight Gervonta Davis or Shakur Stevenson. Those guys are like a much. Those are A plus, or at least A minus. Those are A level fighters. Period, man. Those guys are on a different level.
He's kryptonite. He is. I'm gonna give you some background, Clay. You know what I talked about with this guy.
Yeah, talk about it, man. For sure.
O'Shaquie Foster, first of all, he should have been at 135 maybe 2 or 3 fights ago. He stayed down there. He had his reasons. Top Rank probably kept him down there. He had to go get a nutritionist to stay there. His time is done down there anyway. Win, lose, or draw, I think he moves up and continues his career. I think people are underestimating the skill set of O'Shaquie Foster. I think they don't realize this guy is a gamer. Like, we were talking about who's the best boxer today or who has the best boxing skills. I don't think you guys, if you haven't watched this guy, literally hands down box, bro. There's no probably great boxer other than him. There's a few better than him. This guy's eyes wide open, sees you from angles, he parries shots, he counters well. Anything that you're supposed to do as a boxer in that ring, and he has speed. So that's another thing on top of it. He does well. Stephen Fulton, no slouch. I don't disrespect Stephen Fulton. I think Stephen Fulton is exactly who he says he is. He's a good fighter, and he does what he has to do. But as far as O'Shaquie, man, I'm just telling y'all, man, it's like this dude's the real deal. And I think O'Shaquie Foster can go up in 135, challenge Shakur, give him a great fight. Not just be a opponent, but give him a great fight. Matter of fact, key point. When O'Shaquie was calling out your boy, what's the dude's name? Lamont Roach went to go fight Tank. I'm not saying that he ducked him, but he called him out. He wanted that fight. He wanted unification. He went and fought Tank. Shaquie Foster's been trying to get the belts in that division for a long time. He even called out Shakur at one point at 130 before Shakur went up. And that fight never manifested, right? So this guy is a warrior. He's definitely especially a native New Yorker down in Texas. But he's a warrior, man. He's fighting with a lot of spirits. You got to remember, he lost his mom, so he leaves that on his arm. He got some of his career taken away. He leaves that, all this is on his sleeve. This guy has a lot of things he's fighting for every time he steps in that ring. And I'm telling you, it shows. It really shows. Now, Stephen Fulton's a beast. He's no slouch. But I can also see how Stephen Fulton can beat Shaquie. But it's going to take a lot more than what he did to homeboy Figueroa. It's going to take a lot more because Shakie's not that guy. And yes, Kasakiel fought better with the second fight with Shaquie, but that's because Shaquie wanted to make sure he won that fight. Because the first time he fought him, he dominated that fight and they gave it to Kasakiel. Second time, he made sure he won it. He didn't take chances. He didn't want to get hit as much. So what he did, he didn't take chances and he made it a boring fight. But this fight right here, yeah, he did call out Navarrete and they never gave him that fight. They protecting that guy over there. We know that. But for sure, Shaquie is probably the best 130 pounder in the division. And I could see him competing at 135 at an elite division and shocking the world, believe it or not. I think he's Tank's kryptonite. I've been telling Clay this for a long time. The way he fights and the way he moves, he stays in the pocket. He's almost like a Terrence Crawford, but he's so much, he's so skillful. I'm telling you, you got to watch this dude, man. If y'all haven't watched it, go back and watch his fights. He's so talented. So talented.
He's skilled. He's definitely skilled, but I don't think he has the power to keep Gervonta honest or to even get his respect. Lamont Roach he was more familiar with Gervonta, and he also had some decent pop to keep him honest. I don't see Foster being able to do that with Gervonta Davis. It would look, from just my opinion, it would look similar, but a little bit more difficult than the Frank Martin fight. Like once Tank catches him, like he's going to sleep.
I just to tap in and say that's why I think the fight happens. You know what I'm saying? I think that, that fits. I mean, I'm not saying I think the fight happens. I mean, I'll say that because I don't think the fight happens. Personally, I think Tank is on his way out the door, right? But I'm saying that would be a reason why that fight would happen, would be because of that, in my opinion. I think the matchmakers listen, man, Gervonta's made it clear that he when it comes to his boxing career, he doesn't ask for fights, right? He's not asking for fights. So what is the matchmakers going to think is the bigger question? How do they look at that situation? How do they look at that opportunity to get another payday off the back of Tank Davis, get another pay-per-view going, or get, fight nobody asked for, but the people just want to see Tank knock somebody out. Mm-hmm. And O'Shaquie Foster, kind of checks the boxes in multiple ways as far as a legit candidate. You know what I'm saying? Right. For a fight for Tank Davis. But
yeah, and another thing he does. Another thing he does well, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Similar to the Frank Martin fight, what Frank Martin doesn't do is doesn't keep distance. Shaquie measures distance with his opponents. He literally stays right at point of range for him, and he gets out the range of his opponent. So, I mean, I'm telling you, he's a good fighter, man. He uses the ring very well.
Who you got stalking who like in this fight? You got Stephen Fulton walking on
Stephen
Shaq.
Fulton's definitely going to walk into. Yeah, he's going to walk
Exactly.
in, definitely. Shockey's going to sit there and he's going to counter a little bit. He'll probably take the lead a few rounds, but for the most part, he's going to be letting Stephen Fulton do all the movement. Definitely.
That's what I think. I definitely feel the same way about that, man. It's gonna be a great fight. I think on paper that's a great fight. I think Stephen Fulton has the footwork and the movement to walk him down and force a fight. I think he can get that mid-range fight. O'Shaquie also has the speed and the agility and the ability to get away when he wants to get away. And jump in and out. A very athletic fighter. It's gonna be a real good fight to watch. You guys hear the rumors about Danny? Well, it's not rumors, right? Danny Garcia is coming back in October.
Yeah, he's coming back in October to fight some another guy. I forgot his name, but yeah, he's coming back. I'm not sure if it's gonna be I'm not sure if it's gonna be a PBC related card, but yeah, he's definitely coming back to the Barkley. And Danny Garcia was one of my favorite fighters at one point, and I'm definitely looking forward to pulling up to the Barkley Center. I've seen a lot of his fights over there live. So, October's going to be a good month. I'm planning to go to the Boots fight. That's always a great scene environment out there in Wells Fargo. And then you got the Barclays Center with Danny Garcia. So, yeah, I'm going to tune in live to those fights, God willing.
Yeah. And yes, freaking fire. That was the statement that Fulton would be moving up. That was the plan. But what I'm telling you is that I think they're both moving up. I've been saying that. Even Clay called it out. Clay was like, yo, he's too big for the division. He can barely make weight. He was looking crazy.
So he was having a hard time making the weight, but I'm not sure if he solved it with the nutritionist, and he tried to make it look like that was the only issue. But yeah, man, look.
Yeah, it's time for him to go up, man. He's getting older, so they both moving up. This is both their last rides at 130, 135, whatever you want to call it. I don't think Fulton stays at 130. You heard him say it's a pit stop. He don't care about the belt.
Oh, you think Fulton goes up to 135 too?
That's what that was the rumor. That you didn't hear what he said? What Shockey said to him?
No, I don't remember.
He's like, we already know what your plans are of moving up, because he's like, I'm a big boy, I can make 135, and he was like, yeah, we already know your plans. So we knew you was playing. You were supposed to fight on the 16th card so you can move up and fight Tank. That was kind of what was hinted to.
Right.
Who was going to fight Tank?
Fulton, if he won.
If he won.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Tank stuff, man.
Anyway, to me, it's the smaller Tank Davis, and if he can't do nothing with that pressure, when Tank applies that pressure, when he switches hits that switch, I'm sorry, Stephen Fulton's going to have just as much trouble. Now,
that's a huge mismatch, man. He got knocked out by a smaller Inouye. People say that Inouye will be a cherry pick for Tank, and Tank talking about fighting Stephen Fulton. That's disgusting. I mean, it's a shame because Tank physically is probably one of the top 3 best gifted fighters in the game. Like if Tank Davis was the type of fighter to challenge himself, and I'm not even a Tank fan because of his antics out the ring, but I got to keep it boxing. If he had the mentality to challenge himself the way Canelo did, fighting everybody the way Floyd did, he has number 1 pound for pound type of ability. Like Tank Davis is one of the few fighters today that knows how to cut the ring off. That's a lost art. A lot of fighters today that's elite don't know how to cut the ring off. Shakur didn't cut the ring off in one of his previous fights. T.O. struggled cutting the ring off. Javon Ennis is like a lot of fighters either know how to be a counterpuncher or know how to cut the ring off. Javante, to his credit, he actually knows both. But the thing is, I don't think he believes in himself for something going on with him, because he should have been fought his other contemporaries, and Devin Haney already surpassed him. T.O. already surpassed him. Shakur surpassed him as well as far as accomplishments and resume.
Yeah. I gotta agree, man. Last night, shout out to VVO TV Sports. I was up there for a quick minute, and just talking about the whole Tank situation with Jake Paul, and they were asking my opinion. I said to him, listen, man, I've accepted Tank for who he is a long time ago, and when I mean a long time ago, I'm gonna say inside of the last year, right? For the year, I've accepted him. He gave me some hope on the Frank Martin fight. He gave me some hope with the way he was talking. I was like, oh man, he's back. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like, he's gonna do this, man. He's gonna make these fights happen. But as soon as I seen that Lamont Roach press conference, I tapped out. I knew it was over with. And I know a lot of people were pushing and trying to make this argument. And I was trying to tell people, like, people were like trying to blame Shakur, and it was like, it wasn't about people looked at it like we were trying to like attack Tank. Like he got to make this fight happen. No, what we're telling you is that fight ain't gonna happen because Tank don't want that fight to happen. That's how that works. Shakur's letting you know he's open. He's not getting the phone calls. He's not getting the offers. That fight is not happening, and we need to move past it. And I encouraged Shakur, and I encouraged Keyshawn, and I encouraged all the people who were calling him out to move on and allow the division to move on. The only thing, if I ask anything of Tank right now, and listen, I'm not even asking because, you know, you asking for something, he's going to tell you shut up and be a fan. But if I would ask him for anything right now, bro, vacate the belt. That's if you want to do a favor for the sport and you want to just let the belt go. Let that WBA title go. Allow the division to move forward. Allow that Bacon title to be fought for, and go do whatever you want to do. Go fight Jake Paul. Come back if you want to. Take a hiatus for a year after you fight Jake Paul, make all that money, and come back if you want to and make some fights happen. Whatever it is you want to do. No personal feelings one way or the other about it. Just don't tie up boxing, man. Don't do that.
Yo, Clay, the other day I had to crush one of Tank Davis fanboys' feelings because he was talking about that Tank Davis is the only one out of the quote unquote I'm not gonna call them 4 of them because there might be 5 of them, the 5 kings. And he's the only one that isn't a king fight. And right. I told him he wasn't because all due respect, when you look at the 4 kings, the original guys, right? When they all started fighting each other, they were all already established. Duran was undisputed at 135 when he fought Ray Leonard. Benitez was a 2-division champion at 21 when he fought Ray. Ray didn't have a belt yet, but Ray was a gold medalist. All these guys had accomplishments. And I say that to say this. Ryan Garcia is not a king. He's not. Because when he fought Tank Davis, he didn't have a pot to piss in as far as accomplishments, but social media following. He didn't have none of that. When he fought Devin, he didn't have none of that. And so I say that to say this. The first official fight between the kings is going to be when Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson fight. That's going to be the first official king fight because both of those guys are accomplished and both of those guys are on a pound for pound, on my pound for pound list. So yeah, Tank Davis hasn't fought a king. What Ryan Garcia is, he's a supporting cast member to the kings. He's a very good common opponent to 2 of them, just like Pepino Cuevas and Carlos Palomino fought a couple of the original kings. That's what Ryan Garcia is. He's not a king, bro. The king for me is Devin, Teo, Tank, and Shakur. And Brian Norman Jr. is a knockout win away of becoming the Marvin Hagler of that little squad right there because he's at 147, the bigger guy. He got an opportunity to fight the bigger names when they move up to him, and he's a little bit more in obscurity, but he's putting people in the dirt just like Marvin Hagler did. So that's how I see this whole thing playing out.
Right. I like it. I like it.
Right.
I like it, man.
Hey, good points.
Oh, for real, man. And listen, and I think that's the part that the boxing fans need to embrace and understand that. Like even people like Lowe, man, then it's not personal. But if you want us to, if Tank Davis were to retire today in an official way and be done with, we'd have to judge him on what he's done. And listen, man, we have a those are some big shoes to fill in this boxing space because you got fighters who've done great things. And, you know, it's hard to kind of put him in the conversation that you guys want us to put him in. Me personally, I think he was a huge influencer in this era of boxing. He had a lot of potential to do a lot more than he did. We'll talk about him, about how exciting a fighter he was and what he could have done. But we will also talk about what he didn't do and why he didn't do it. And that's going to be something that's going to be part of the legacy. And he's going to make his money. He's going to have generational wealth, and that's a great part of it. But if this comes down to the boxing conversation, it's not going to go the way a lot of his fans want the conversation to go, unfortunately. I just think people need to accept the fact that this man didn't make that a priority for himself, and it's okay. But we're going to judge him accordingly. When we talk about a Shakur, a Devin, or a Teofimo, or even a Keyshawn, we'll see what he does with his career, if he's truly retired, or if he's going to – I think he's going to come back and do more. But, yeah, man, these guys are difficult to, you know, put an argument up there to throw Tank up against these guys' as accolades and turn into something that it's not. But salute to Tank, man. I hope he makes his biggest bag of money with Jake Paul. I hope he – listen, and I mean that. No hate at all, man. Go ahead and do your thing, man. That being said, have you guys been paying attention to the heavyweight division at all?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, not really. Okay.
I don't watch the heavyweights. Just all due respect, I'm not really fond of the heavyweight era right now. The last few heavyweight eras.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, we got Moses Atama who's back on. This guy's going to be active. He's a young bull right now. They want to get him where he needs to be, which is in front of a champion. But got to give him that activity. He's a young guy. We just saw him run through Dillian White, and now they're trying to bring him back in December, right? In Manchester, they're going to give him his biggest test yet. Rumors are circulating that it could be from Daniel Dubois to Philip Ergovich to Jermaine Franklin, right? All the way down to Jermaine Franklin. Without a doubt, Moses Atama is needing to be tested. And I think that's the big thing, right, Ray? Like, who in the world can get this kid past 5 rounds and make it a fight until we can get these questions answered about who this dude is, man?
There's a couple fighters that I have in mind, but like I said, it's going to be hard because I haven't really seen Moses get deep into a fight. I don't know if his endurance. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, sir. Like, who can take a punch? Who can not get hit? I was thinking of a couple of fighters, and I'm like, experience does help. I like Andy Ruiz actually as a fighter to actually, go a little distance with him. You know what I mean? Get him into those later rounds.
I like that. I like it.
That's somebody I could see literally giving him a good fight and be a challenge. Everyone else is like, I think they're coming for the kid, basically, right? So they're literally going to try to beat him to the punch, and that's where he's going to be fair. Now, his ring IQ showed a lot in that last fight with Dillian White. He showed that he could be patient and he could set up shots. So I mean, are you going to really be able to run? Like, I would feel bad for somebody like Big Baby Anderson to get in the ring with him, because somebody that could, him having a similar skill set with the moving around, being a kind of like a smaller dancer type fighter. Mm-hmm. Listen, man, that guy will get crushed because he will fall for the feint so easily, and boom. And a lot of these guys will, because I think he's there for the he's there to set them up. I just think Andy Ruiz is that guy. I think that's the guy that gives him the toughest fight of his career if they were to fight today. As far as like Usyk and all them guys, because everybody puts Usyk in the picture, Usyk's going to have to withstand the punishment as well. Like, he's still got to worry about the counters, got to worry about the feints. Usyk knows what he's in. They're equally in size too. They're not like they're far apart. When it comes to
that's an actual great fight. I think people sleep on that. The more you think about that fight, that's a great fight. Yeah. Alexander Usyk versus Moses Atama. And I can't co-sign the idea of it's too early for him. What are you talking about? It's
no. That's gonna be like one of them are gonna lose, bottom line. And I think Usyk loses that fight by knockout, because I think the hand speed of Atama is so underrated. But Usyk's also a smart fighter, but I just don't see him. That power makes people think, man. It makes you think. I don't want to get clipped by this guy. When you start thinking and get offside your regimen, bro, that's what happens. You get clipped up, and I think that's crazy. But I'm just trying to think of a few fighters outside the like top 10. That's why I put Andy Ruiz in. I'm like, I gotta look outside the top 10 to see who will give him a good fight, and I think that's one of the only guys I think that's capable. Crazy work.
Yeah, I think there's a perfect time for Moses Atama to get in the ring with Alexander Usyk. I don't care. I say, if you're gonna lose, that's who you lose to. You feel me?
Yeah.
Big payday, and you lose to fucking Usyk, bro, and you get that experience. You box. I don't think Usyk's gonna knock him out.
No,
it's possible, but I don't think he will. So he's gonna get 12 rounds of experience that you can't pay for. You know what I'm saying? That you can't pay for that kind of experience. He's gonna come out on the other side of that with the experience that's probably gonna put him in position to just dominate the rest of the division. That's a great opportunity for you.
Usyk can knock him out, actually.
I'm not saying he can't. I just saying
I mean, I can see it happening if he takes him to deep waters. Like I said, we never seen this guy go past 3 or 4 rounds. So if he gets him to the 7th, 8th, 9th round,
he's been past 4.
One time, he went to the 8th round fight, and I think he went to the 8th. That's it. That was the one time.
Yeah,
I don't know how he looked. I really never watched that fight because me and you kind of found like who he was like the same day.
Mm-hmm.
But to see Usyk take him to like the 10th round, make him wear him out, or is he patient enough to to stalk patiently and pick his shots like we seen him do in the early rounds of other fights. That's going to be the difference with a tumor. But I think Usyk, if he can get him off his line and make him start doing different things that he don't want to do, throw wild shots or get a little heavy with the swings, Usyk can take advantage of that and knock him out because Usyk's a smart fighter too.
He's gone to the biggest he's done is 6 rounds.
Oh, 6 rounds.
To the end of 6 rounds with and this is early in his career, like fight 4 and 5. I mean,
I knew it was like a small round fight. I thought it was 8. Okay, 6 rounds.
After that, he's just been sleeping people. He hasn't since them 2 fights. He hasn't made it past the 2nd round.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. And you get accustomed to that. When you get accustomed to that, then your training changes, right? Take a look at Deontay Wilder when he fought Tyson Fury, right? Once he went into those later rounds, he was talking about his helmet way too much.
What's your take on all this talk about Usyk? A lot of people call Usyk the top 3 all-time great heavyweight. Like, I'm really against that.
No. It's too many boxers and too many heavyweight champions to put Usyk at the top 3. It's too many.
Like, let his career be over first. Like, I don't like putting guys on any list until their careers are over, or at least on the way out. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to put like error-wise and things like that, yeah, you can put like their error, like he's definitely
the best of his era for sure.
Yeah, like
he's done a lot of great things, man. And sometimes I think it's a disservice to bring up this conversation for him. When people try to stick him in there, when people try to put him up top 5, it's like you're doing him a disservice because the reality is that man doesn't deserve to get the reality check that we have to give people whenever they try to put him up there. You know what I'm saying? Right. The reality is that man ain't asked for that. He's done so much. He can be celebrated for so much. Why try to put him in a conversation with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier?
Because they want the next Rocky Marciano card, Clay.
Yeah, and you can't put him ahead of Lennox Lewis neither. Lennox Lewis, for me, Lennox Lewis is a top 3 heavyweight, in my opinion.
Top 3?
Top 3. You look at his resume. If you really stop and look at his resume, really quick, look at his resume. The guy competed 2 generations, if you think about it. He beat David Tua. He beat Tommy Morrison. He beat Evander. He beat Tyson. He beat Razor Ruddock. He beat Klitschko. He beat Shannon Briggs. He beat Galata. He beat Frank Blue. Like, his resume is crazy. And the only
or no decision.
No, he beat him. He stopped him because of the cuts. And
I didn't think they called. I thought that was a no decision or something like that.
No, he stopped him. And the only losses that he had, he avenged them. So you gotta really look at that. You know? And I wasn't a Lennox guy growing up. I was pro Riddick Bowe. It broke my heart when Riddick Bowe ducked him the way he did. But yeah, Lennox Lewis got a better resume than a lot of dudes. Period.
No, he does. Listen, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but you know what's great about Lennox Lewis? The timing that he did it. Like, he didn't do it. You know what I mean? He did it when a lot of these guys were in the prime and when the young guys were coming in. Like, he got him up. What a lot of fighters don't do, he don't get them out. They don't get these young guys out the way. And I think that's a bad thing. Like, for instance, Benavidez got Morrell out the way. Why did he get him out the way? Because he knew if he waited on this guy, he'd be trouble. Abdullah Mason coming up. A lot of people won't get him out the way. They're going to let him marinate. And the longer you let that guy come up and get stronger and better and more equipped in the ring, he's going to be harder to fight. So I think Lennox Lewis was the same way. He got all these younger fighters out the way quick. Michael Grant, a lot of when he was getting hot. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Tua when he was getting hot. Shannon Briggs when he was getting. I'm not saying these guys weren't who they were, but when they started getting into their main fights, when they started getting into these 12 rounders and these championship caliber fights, he got them out the way quick. He didn't wait. I mean, he caught an L to Asim Rahman.
He's a true champion. The guy defended his belt against everybody. Right. That's what I like about him.
Yeah. No, I get it. I ain't mad at your pick.
Yeah, in other words, you a top contender. What? You 22 years old. Yeah. You a top contender. All right, come get this title shot. Let me get you out the way real quick. And I respect it. I'd rather that than him fight guys when they washed up.
Right. And he took some guys out when they was washed up too, because people thought that Mike Tyson was still the man. So
the only guy that Lennox didn't get a chance. Oh, he also beat Ray Mercer. Another one. Look at that. And mind you, Lennox did this in in my opinion, one of the best heavyweight ever. And the only guy that he never got a chance to fight was George Foreman 2.0 and Michael Moore. Those are the only 2 guys he never got a chance to fight.
I think I was gonna say, but to to your point, Colorado, I wasn't saying that because he was white. I'm saying that a lot of people view him as the next Rocky Marciano because they want a great champion, and not because he's white. They just want a great champion that can dominate the division as a smaller fighter. You know what I mean? The comparisons, you know what I mean? Able to go in there and fight whoever the hell they want. I get that 100%. So I understand what you're saying. But no, it's not because of the color. It's definitely because of skill set. And Rocky Marciano went through a whole time where he fought a lot of age fighters, a lot of guys going out their careers. And he also fought a lot of guys that were nobodies. But he is who he is, right? He's undefeated, 49-0 heavyweight champion of the world. Was the longest reigning undefeated champion at one point in the history until Floyd took the 50-0. So, you know what I mean? Salute to Rocky Marciano. I'm not taking nothing away from him for sure.
Yeah. For me, Usyk's place in the all-time greats, period, whenever that happens, is going to be higher for me than his heavyweight all-time great. Because when you look at Usyk, you look at the whole body of work, what he did at cruiserweight, what he did at heavyweight. He hasn't had the kind of run in the heavyweight division yet to put him in the top three. And then it's not his fault because he also fights in arguably one of the weakest eras in heavyweight history. He does got some good wins. The Tyson Fury win was great. He beat Anthony Joshua twice, you know, but those are the only two guys. But then when you look at Anthony Joshua, all due respect, I don't want to offend anybody. You put him in the 90s, we're looking at Michael Grant all over again.
Oh, hold on. You say Anthony Joshua? Hold on. I don't know, man. I think we got. Listen. I think what we've seen with Anthony Joshua after the Ruiz fight has been a different Anthony Joshua, or was he always the same? I don't know, but I think he was a different Anthony Joshua, more of a aggressive and dominating fighter. I don't think he would have been clipped up in the 90s. I think he definitely would have been in the top. He wouldn't have been no Frank Bruno for sure. But he definitely would have been. You know what? I promise you this. Anthony Joshua would have knocked him. Listen, I promise you, Lil, Anthony Joshua would have knocked out Foreman in the 90s.
Hell no. Nobody knocked out Foreman.
Hell no.
I don't think so, bro.
Right?
Hell no. He would have went to sleep.
His skill set and Foreman. Listen, Tommy Morrison beat Foreman, bro, and look how he beat him.
Tommy Morrison will pack up a lot of guys right now too.
Wait. Which George? You talking about George Foreman? You talking about 40-year-old Foreman?
You talking about 2.0?
Yeah.
2.0 Foreman packs up a lot of guys today. Remember some.
I would have to think about that one. But young Foreman, no way.
No, not young Foreman. I'm talking about second around Foreman.
Not even the old Foreman.
All right. Listen,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I just don't think
honestly, this heavy.
So crafty.
I don't think Anthony Joshua has ever showcased that kind of skill set to me, bro. He just never has done that. Where did he do that at? What fight do you have that you reference that? I don't know.
I said in the 90s. I said in the 90s, like early.
Oh, 90s. Pack him up.
Anthony Joshua wasn't here in the 90s.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he beat Larry. I don't think he beat Larry Holmes. To be honest, I don't.
Larry Holmes would beat him too. Yep, I agree with you.
Larry Holmes would beat Larry Holmes.
Pack him up in the 90s, bro.
Tommy Morrison would have knocked him out.
Mike Tyson would have destroyed him.
Michael Moore would have whipped him too. Michael Moore was like Usyk with more power. Small southpaw heavyweight.
Razor Ruddock would have destroyed him.
Razor Ruddock would have beat him. Razor Ruddock would have beat him.
Wait. Let me. I just heard fragments. Hold on, fellas. Hold on, fellas. I just heard fragments. Hold on. I just heard fragments. You guys are saying that Anthony Joshua is comparable to George Foreman. Am I correct?
That's what Ray Davis is saying. Only
one person said that.
Yep. Go ahead and talk to me.
What level, Ray? Please, hey, somebody, because you're doing something in the background. It's radio or something. Ray, on what level? Please explain.
I'm talking about that Foreman that stepped into that ring with Tommy Morrison would have got cooked by Anthony Joshua.
Tommy Morrison would have knocked out Anthony Joshua too.
Okay.
Clay, can I say something real quick?
You think Tommy Morrison would have beat him up?
Hold on. So, yes, Tommy would beat Anthony Joshua, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Tommy had some fast hands. He had that left hook, and he's competitive with everybody, man. But Morrison, believe it or not, is probably one of the best. I don't mean to bring race into it. He one of the best weight heavyweights I've ever seen. The guy had athleticism. He had that head movement. He was like a poor man's version of Mike Tyson, like a white version, but not as good as Mike. But Morrison was the problem, man. He knocked out Razor right.
Hold on a second. Let me let Reyes tap in right quick. Reyes, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Put some perspective on, because this is some historian conversation that needs to happen right now. I'm letting you guys know we got 15 minutes because I'm getting off this thing at 1 o'clock. I got to cook dinner. And yesterday I got shitted on for that, not doing it. So let's go.
All right. So first of all, Clay, why is it that, I wake up and I get on and Ray always talk about Rocky Marciano?
Tell him about Rocky. Rocky Marciano was straight. Compared to Joe Louis.
He was 103 years old.
Wow. Y'all taking it there?
No. But seriously, speaking to that conversation, there is no world at all. And you and I, Clay, have had this in-depth conversation when I was trying to explain to you why I think Deontay Wilder was so great. There is no world that Anthony Joshua would have beaten the second version of George Foreman, Ray. What have you been smoking, bro? Like, George Foreman, man. It's George Foreman. And here's the thing. Here's all I'll say to you.
Ray, what's your weed man name, Ray?
Yeah, Ray is smoking some good weed. So as long as we good weed.
Hold on, everybody.
All respect to Anthony Joshua. All right? Nothing but respect for Anthony Joshua. But I've always felt, and I've told Clay this, if they didn't fuck it up, Deontay Wilder would have knocked out Joshua, and Deontay Wilder would have been the biggest name in boxing. And instead of Deontay Wilder now being looked at someone who isn't as good, he would be compared to Tyson. Because at the time, because revision is always history, but at that time, the only thing that fucked Deontay Wilder's career was PBC. They weren't giving him away for free TV. That's the only reason why he wasn't anywhere near the dynamic, popular figure that Mike Tyson was. But he did everything Mike Tyson did leading up to that point. He fought the big fights. He knocked out people. He was the baddest man on the planet, but not that many. It was almost like Deontay Wilder was the rich man's Mike Tyson, right? Mike Tyson was accessible to everyone. But Deontay Wilder wasn't accessible to anyone. So I say that to say that when Andy Ruiz knocked out Joshua, it now shows you that if Wilder and Joshua would have happened, it had to take 3 fights from Tyson Fury for us to see Wilder go lower. It only took 1 fight from Andy Ruiz for us to see how exposed Anthony Joshua is. So now you're going to compare Anthony Joshua to old man.
Wait, stop.
The same old man. Hold on, Sheldon. The same old man. The same old man. Foreman.
How can you say that when we saw? Hold on. You can't say that when we saw what Wilder was in that second Fury fight. You just glossed right over that.
Shelton, I can't say that. I can do a whole discussion with you about how good Deontay Wilder really was.
We only got 15 minutes.
But right now,
go ahead, keep going. Keep going. That's
okay.
Keep going. We only got 15 minutes. Keep going. Keep going, Ray. Keep going.
Quick.
No. I'm just trying to tell Ray there is no world.
I'm gonna tell you
something. No world, bro. That Anthony Joshua even the Anthony Joshua that fought Vladimir Klitschko, that same Anthony Joshua would have gotten his ass torn up by George Foreman, the old guy.
And let me enlighten you on something. Neither were Wilder. All them dudes who named in the 90s would have beat the shit out of Wilder too.
I agree with you 100%. With Wilder, I agree. Wilder would have knocked out Joshua. I'm not gonna slight Wilder because some people take a beating and they lose their career in that ring. He wasn't the same after the Fury fight. I do agree that Wilder's another one who would have been Michael Grant in the '90s, but Wilder would have had a better shot because Wilder, on any given night, if you careless, he could knock you out. Wilder, for me,
right,
would have beaten Anthony Joshua, and old man George Foreman would have beaten Anthony Joshua. The man was very poised as an old fighter. He was calm. He had great punch placement. He had one punch knockout power. He had a chin. He had defense with that cross arm block. And once again, the guys back then were different. All those guys had a lot of Olympic pedigree, amateur pedigree. Look, put it this way. Usyk is the only one that would have been competitive there because he was a smaller heavyweight. At 220. 220 back then was a fairly big heavyweight.
Actually, he would still been a super heavyweight probably back then because he was.
Usyk's the only. Fury would have been a factor also, but that's about it.
Listen, let me tell you my point, and I'm gonna get off this. I'm gonna let y'all cook. First of all, the reason why I say that, first, Andy Ruiz cut a lucky shot, bro. He countered just on time. That was an on-time counter. A lot of people felt that was a lucky shot. Anthony Joshua just didn't see it coming. That's the one that puts you down and puts you out. As far as somebody preparing for, I think if Anthony Joshua was prepared for a George Foreman when he was at the top of his game, and he got in that ring with the 42-year-old, 44-year-old Foreman, he would have cooked him. George Foreman was a straight freight train. Listen,
I disagree with you.
Whoa, hold on. I got the clock. Hold on. Y'all can get your turn. Y'all already jumped me, so let me defend myself. So with George Foreman was a straight freight train. He came forward. He took a lot of shots, and I think somebody with the power and the height and the strength and the weight of Anthony Joshua of today, back then, because there weren't super heavyweights back then, they were just regular heavyweights, he would have been really big for the division. And he would have definitely caught Foreman in the forehead a couple times to put him down. He would have buckled him. And once he buckled him, he would have had his opportunity to put him down. A lot of y'all don't see that because y'all looking at it as what Anthony Joshua was today. I'm telling you what Anthony Joshua was before that loss and how dominant he was and the confidence he had. Same thing with George Foreman at that moment right before he lost, when he fought Holyfield and all those guys. He would have got cooked. But I rest my case.
Clay, I know you about to go off. I just want
to say one thing. Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko. That Anthony Joshua was probably the best Anthony Joshua.
And he got dropped in that fight and got hurt.
That one,
And that was the old Klitschko too.
Yeah, that was
old Klitschko, and he got hurt in that fight.
And that was the best version of Anthony Joshua that I've ever seen, bro. I just don't see. I don't see too many of any of these fighters competing in that era of boxing.
From any weight class.
Right now. I'm looking at Moses Atuma right now, and I'm trying to make up my mind with him. I want to see him with the right dance partner so I can get some understanding, because I think he's just a generational talent. I think he's a breath of fresh air in the heavyweight division right now, potentially. But I don't see none of those guys getting busy with nobody from back in the day, and not even Deontay Wilder. None of those guys.
Just remember, I said Wilder was going to knock out Ryan. Right?
You need to get Deontay Wilder's name out of your mouth. Can
I ask one question? I didn't go yet. I just want to ask one
question.
Wait, Anthony. Hold on. Go ahead, real quick, and then we'll go to Anthony. Go ahead.
I just want to ask Low. What's his name? Low Nose Boxing.
What I was going to say when it comes to AJ specifically.
Hold on, Anthony. You're not hearing. Hold on 1 second. Let Anton build right quick, and we're gonna come right back to you. I got you. Go ahead, Anton.
I just want to ask Low a quick question, real quick. You said earlier that you said T.O. on your pound for pound list. I just wanted to see what why he was on your pound for pound list. That's it.
No, not now. Well, hold on, Lo. Don't say nothing yet. Let Anthony build it, because we're leaving Anthony Joshua right now, and I think Anthony wants to. So hold that thought in your mind, Anton.
Okay.
Hold that thought in your eye, Lo.
With AJ. Yeah, well, for me, the whole AJ conversation, for me, he was exposed more not after the Ruiz fight. It was more after the two Usyk fights. Me, after those two fights, his mental game wasn't there. He was completely shot mentally because he knew he won't be able to do that with a guy like Foreman or Larry Holmes. I think Larry Holmes would destroy him, to be honest. Because Larry Holmes to me is almost a same style of fighter not exactly equivalent, but close enough to an Usyk. They're not going to knock you out right away, but Larry is more of a box. He's a boxer. Like he's a boxer puncher, you would say? Would you say Larry's a boxer puncher, Clay? Kind of.
Yes, he was a boxer first, but a super punch. No, he was a puncher. He was a puncher, in my opinion.
His jab was crazy.
That jab was crazy, but I don't know, man. I feel like he was a puncher. Am I bugging? I feel like Larry Holmes was a puncher.
Larry Holmes was a boxer puncher, you want to call it, and that's an old Larry Holmes. Old Larry Holmes beat a prime Ray Mercer,
right?
And Ray Mercer's another one that I got, beating Anthony Joshua brutally.
Yeah. To me, no one in this era, outside of maybe Tyson Fury, can handle, because no one can handle Tyson Fury. That guy's like mega weight, in my honest opinion. Like he's 300. He's like 400 pounds, man. Who can push him off? Who has the strength to push him off?
He got handled already.
I'll give you 5 people when we have enough time to talk. I'll give you 5 people from the 90s and 5 from the 70s and the 80s that would have beat the shit out of him and knocked him out.
Listen, this is what I'm gonna do. We're getting around that time. This is what I'm legitimately gonna do, right? I'm gonna do a live tonight. Because I really do gotta short you guys because I got things I gotta get done. And I like this panel, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys want to pop up later in the evening, like let's say about 6, I'm not even gonna make it.
Yeah, notifications is on, Clay.
Be before the game, Clay.
Notifications is on, Clay. I appreciate you, bro. The game comes on at 8 o'clock. You guys' time, so I don't know.
8:20.
Yeah, why are you messing with NFL? It's opening game, Clay.
That's why I said 6. I legitimately said 6 as I thought about it. I said I'm gonna do it 6. I'm not even gonna do it late because I know what tonight is.
Bro, the game starts at 5, I think.
No, I'm talking about 6 my time.
No, it starts at 8 this time. He's on the East Coast, dude.
On the East Coast. What time is ours? Yeah,
Shelton, are you sure it doesn't start at 5 o'clock our time, Shelton?
Let me check.
The game starts at 5 our time, 8 o'clock his time.
Pacific time. It's 8.
Yeah.
It'd be 3
5
o'clock.
our time. 8 o'clock his time.
It'd be 3 o'clock.
Yeah. You'd have to do it at 3 p.m. our time.
Right.
Yeah,
right. Which would be 6.
That'd be 6 o'clock for us. So 3 p.m. Yes.
Yeah, so we can get this shit out of the way because
you
talking about Wilder. You put Wilder in the 90s, he gets cooked. That dude can't box.
No,
he gets money.
You got to calm down about Wilder, Shelton.
Wilder is trash, bro.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Lo, go ahead. What'd you say, Lo?
You talking about 6 p.m. Eastern time? Because I'm going to the gym around 7, so I could jump on. I can jump on for about 40 minutes.
Cool, bro. Appreciate you.
So we can build. That way, everybody can get an opportunity to do a little due diligence and how they want to approach this. I think there's a real interesting conversation.
Everybody salute, man. You have a great one.
Also,
because I'm about to
Deontay Wilder. We got Deontay Wilder potentially getting ready to announce a fight with Francis Ngannou as well, guys. We'll talk about that later as well. That's potentially
now that's around his. That's his element. I like that for Wilder. That's the element he should be in. Dudes he can beat up.
Let's talk about it later, man. It's rain.
I don't hate Wilder. Wilder just went.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitted for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot. Wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans. You don't need to understand.